All right, y'all. I said that I was going to interview my friend Abhi about my finances because we wanted to make a video where he's really smart about money and he does well for himself. And he's been a huge resource to me to learning about financial literacy. And as I've kind of moved up on my money life, and so I was wanted to interview him and have him like give helpful advice to everyone, but it's honestly just so broad talking about it, and we didn't have that much concise stuff. And I thought, what better idea than to just ask you about me and turn it into a selfish activity where I am being helped out. Oh, fuck. Where I am being helped out. So that's what we're going to do. So introduce yourself.
I'm Carrington's friend.
This is Abhi is very camera shy, and
I'm also like dry humor.
You're also dry humor. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So Abhi,
I'm doing well for myself. Just trust me.
Just Abhi does well for himself. Abhi,
I don't like to praise myself.
Where are you from?
I am
Shimla.
I don't like to reveal too much information.
Okay.
I just am doing well.
Are you from America?
No, I moved here as an immigrant, as a first generation.
First generation, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing all right.
I'm doing good, yeah.
You're doing good. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that. Smart guy. I learn a lot from him personally. So yeah. All right. Well, let me just start. Abhi. Oh, where do I begin? Honestly, Abhi, I'm at a point in my life right now. You've seen me make nothing and barely survive, and be trying to find an apartment in LA for $150 because that's what I had to my name. And now I'm in a
I've seen you come up.
You've seen me come up, but this is just like I've just started to come up.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's been like this isn't like I'm up now. This is like I've just started to come up. Abhi, my name is Carrington. I'm post on TikTok every day. I post on YouTube every day. I love making content. I also have been working full-time as a model. I have stuff going around for acting work as well. I have a movie coming out. I've done a Pepsi commercial. I submit for auditions for movies and TV shows. I submit for auditions for commercials. I post every day on social media. I'm not super brandable, and I want to work on that, which is something I probably have to work on myself. But ultimately, I'm really motivated to make a lot of money. I have access to an audience who I feel that I do well on social media, and I don't feel like a sellout on social media. I feel like I'm genuine on social media. So for that reason, I have a lot of hesitations about monetizing my audience, and I want to also do well for myself. And I think that the sooner I do well for myself and can truly be financially free, the sooner I can be even better for people on social media. So Abhi, I've just come into a little bit of money. I've started investing into myself by reading a lot of books. I educate myself on YouTube, and I'm forcing myself into trying out different avenues to earn income and also just kind of throw spaghetti at the wall with what I want to do with my life. I'm just, like I said, posting on TikTok. That earns me the majority, most of my money. That earns me all of the freedom that I really enjoy. YouTube has started to make a little bit of money, but that's kind of down the line thing that we're investing my time into right now, like we're doing in this video. I also have a clothing brand where I drop certain things. I also have a Cameo where I make money. I also have an Acorns account that I passively invest into. And I have about $26,000 saved up right now. Most of that will probably go to taxes because I haven't made a tax account. I'm not really sure what it's been since this year has been such a 180 for my finances that when I started making money, I wasn't accounting for having to pay a lot in taxes. So most of that will probably go to taxes. But I'm still going to be earning income, these next months. Abhi, what should I do? What should I do? I mean, I want to make as much money as possible. I'd love to buy a place. I would love to start really capitalizing on the audience that I have, because I know that there's people with, 10,000 followers who make, upwards of, $50,000 a month through offering some sort of helpful thing to their audience, where they can monetize. I know that there's also avenues for me to, I don't know, I understand social media, so that could be a thing. I have clothing. Should I take that seriously? There's just a lot of different directions I could go right now. And I'm kind of been stuck at analysis paralysis, although I do have things happening. I don't really have a clear one thing. I think part of my process is right now trying certain things out, trying out the clothing brand stuff, trying out the YouTube stuff. You know, I've also been investing into myself in this like ring light thing. See, this is a $20 investment that has been a huge help for me. Also with a microphone, like the stuff like that. But besides that, I don't know, bro.
I think you've hit a lot of good points already. Like one, you should be proud of yourself
Thank
for
you.
doing all that, and yeah, I mean, you should not be doubting at all. But now, I mean, you're monetizing your content. I think I see content as like either entertainment, like you're just an entertaining person, people want to watch you, like that's one, or it could be like edutainment, right? Like you're educating them as well, or you can do a combination of both. Like you're entertaining, but you're also teaching them something along the way. Like if you want to teach them about social media, how to like that's a. I think most kids, if you ask them now what they want to be when they grow up, they'll say like YouTuber or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a like aspiring profession for people almost, because you have so much freedom. You don't have to like deal with corporate rules. You don't have to deal with like crazy hours. Like you set your own schedule. You can travel the world, do your work from anywhere. Like it's a really like a lot of people would want to do it. So I think there is definitely a need for people to learn how to do it well. So you could package it in terms of a course, or like you could even sell like, I think you could also be a, I mean
I have a community.
have a community, and your YouTube audience finds you inspiring, so which you inherently have. So you can probably have like worksheets or like digital products that you sell of how to motivate yourself, or like fill out this worksheet and then we'll discuss together in our internal community of like how we all filled it up, and like how that you can, people are always trying to better themselves, especially now at the beginning of the year. So I think if you can do it, not only are you making money, but you're adding so much value. I think that's something to think about, of like what value are you adding. And I do think like not everything should be free. Like sometimes it's like if you want to do fitness but are just like running or something, but if you pay for like a gym membership, you feel more motivated because you feel like, okay, I'm investing in it and I'll go through with it. So people want to, like, I personally like love doing courses and like learning and stuff, because it puts me at like, okay, I spend this, I have this masterclass membership, so I'll do at least like a few classes, you know. So those are all things you can think about in terms of monetizing. You're already doing like merch and business and all of that, so that's all good. But I think the question was, I mean, I don't know much about content creation at all, so I can't advise you on that. But the financial aspect of it is like definitely try to make more, and also like be wise with what you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. With that being said, thanks for the kind words. And with that being said, you're talking about, so you're saying off the bat, and this is something that I struggle with, you're saying off the bat that people want to learn about social media. And I think that that is something that I really underestimate, since it's like something that I just do. It's just a part of my life. And I think that since like I am kind of one of those people who like never takes myself too seriously, but this is to a fault in this case where I do something that a lot of people want to do, would you say?
And that's also like something that comes off easily to someone might be very difficult for someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also we have you not seen that with people though? I observe them, like if someone is really pretty, they would like want you to think that they're smart also, right? Because it's like the low-hanging fruit. Like someone who's like, oh, very nerdy, they're like, oh, but I'm also interesting and creative. I feel like people are always trying to be perceived as like more of a, anyway, so you're good at it, that's why you think everyone thinks would find it easy, but it's not like that for most people.
Yeah, I think that's just a really big mental barrier I have in terms of helping people online, because I feel like I do understand social media very well. I've done consulting calls with people, and I really do know a lot about social media, and I also love talking about it. I could talk about it all day, and
but it's also, I mean, anything to do with businesses, of course you can have a large audience like that, but also think where the money is. A lot of companies have money, maybe you can teach them You know, that could be something because they have a lot of marketing budget. They have a lot of like, they're trying to upskill themselves. They're trying to cater to like the Gen Z audience of like what they want, what they like. They're clueless with their like boomers in their discussion boards. So that's also something to think about. Of like giving, like teaching them even. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. I want to elaborate that on that a little bit more, but also I feel like that's just kind of a matter of putting something together and packaging it and then just going and learning as you go. And I have someone who I'm working on something with about doing that. Because I do feel like it's of value. And you saw me make this video yesterday, but somebody asked me, how do I start a YouTube? That's crazy.
You just do it.
I was like blown away doing that because I just started. I'm
also, I could see that like as a big mental block. As someone like I've been like a YouTube lurker for the last like decade, and
Abhi knows YouTube.
Yeah, I've been on YouTube for a very, very long time, like early YouTube, and yeah, and now I'm also know some people who work at YouTube. So I feel like it's definitely a mental block. It just feels a little bit more daunting than say Instagram, where it's just like, oh, you have photos on your camera roll and you just like put them into a something and post it on Instagram. Like that seems like an easier thing to do. But YouTube has a lot of value, especially like now. I think we're gonna go back to like people realizing that their attention spans are like less than a goldfish, and they would want to watch more long form content. So YouTube is not going away.
Okay, Abhi. So let's say that I have that set in play. You know, I'm kind of fiddling around with different avenues of income, different streams of income, but you know, let's say I'm making like 10 grand a month. What should I be doing with that? Currently, what I like to do is I budget about 3 grand for myself per month as like spending money, including all of my bills, which are my bills probably go up to 2,500 at least. That's like maybe including gas and something, but like it's about that. I'm pretty good about not spending money on stupid shit. And then I put I put off the rip, I usually put 10. I usually I say put 10% into savings, but since I have that disposable income, I'll maybe like throw an extra grand into like some sort of like business fund for like if I want to, you know, drop my beanie or something like that, something that I want to invest in myself, and then everything else I'll put into a savings account.
I would say definitely allocate buckets for it.
Buckets.
So that you don't. I feel like you have that problem too, where you might feel guilty spending beyond a certain amount. But if you say like at the beginning of the year, like 20 grand is how much I want to invest in a business. So have it in a separate account and like don't even think about spending that much. If you go beyond that, that's okay. You like reel it in and like maybe I'm overspending, but have some like buckets that you assign to like a certain thing. Like especially a business, that's not throwing away money, that's reinvesting it, right? So have like some numbers set, and if you don't want to do it for the whole year, do it for like a quarter or like a month or something, and then like don't feel bad. They're like, oh, this is my like ad budget, this is my marketing budget, and then like I will spend it. Like this is like a investment in my business.
So here's something off the rip, Abhi. I really love these koala beanies that I have.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when I get home, the samples from the manufacturer are golden, and I'm ready to go. What do you think is a worthwhile investment for me to expand that and grow that? Considering that I have access to my audience, but I also know that my audience doesn't have a lot of money like, you know, traditional 25 to 35 people who are like in the prime of their life in terms of making money. My audience is like some like a little bit older college students, and people don't really have access to a lot of money, and like me as a creative, I want people to feel involved, but I also needs to make sense for me as a time investment. So do you think the way I should go about that? I'm really thinking about what I really wish I had in my life right now, Abhi, honestly, is somebody who is very experienced with e-commerce, someone who has started a brand from scratch, white labeled or whatever, and blown that up. Somebody who understands digital marketing, understands all these other aspects that I haven't really had experience in, because I can learn these things, but if I am able to just provide a face for something and market these products that I actually enjoy using, then that would be a much better use of my time, because I could just keep going in my content, since my content is that 20% that's responsible for all the success I'm having, and have somebody else have doing that, and I can be able to put my best foot forward in that, which is, bringing awareness to things and promoting things, since I do have access to an audience. That's what I wish that I had in my life right now, but I don't even know how to go about that.
I mean, one is you reaching out to people again with more following. You also have more clout in terms of just like more credibility. People will at least reply to you if you reach out. If it's something that you're interested in, like someone who has started something, someone who's like, one cheat code is always to like look at people who are doing already the things you want to do and like reach out. And most people are helpful. I mean, like, unless it's like a direct competitor and who doesn't want to share their secrets, like most people are looking to help out, because everyone, I think all of us like who are successful have gotten a helping hand to be where we are, and people like to pay it forward, like you like to pay it forward to say like someone helped you and like you're helping someone else, you continue the cycle. But anyways, you asked two questions. One is, I mean, the second one is more of an aspiration, like that what you would like to do, and for that I would say reach out to people, cold email people, like don't expect a lot. Like I've seen people cold email like 500 people and get like 10 responses, so don't lose hope. You just keep going at it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and like that works, but just know that the success rate might be low, but that doesn't mean that you just need one of them to work, But don't be like satisfied with like, oh, I emailed 5 people, no one replied. Like that's not enough.
Right.
And like also be strategic. Like email, like if it's like a more of a office setting or like someone who might be very busy, try to email during work hours, not on a weekend, not on a Monday morning where they might be flooded with all their work emails. So yeah, be strategic about when you send the email, when you follow up. Just try to, or if you want an Instagram DM, that's also like really good. Like I feel a lot of creative people treat Instagram as their whole like messaging system. So you can Instagram DM them, see if they're interested. But like, yeah, just be very relentless with it, I would say. Like if you really want something, you don't give up, and it will work. Like there's no way it will not work. Like it's not a luck and chance. Like if you're persistent and you have the fire to do it, you will get it done. There's no two ways about it. But anyways, this first question you asked about like the pricing or like how much you should invest, I really can't answer that without like running the numbers. I'm a big person who believes in doing the math. Like see how many numbers you're working with, how much of that converts, like all of that. Like there's spreadsheets online that you can download and see like, this is my audience, this is the percentage that might convert, this is how much like margins I have, this is how much percentage I'm that's what all these like consultants and employees do, right? And you can do it like by yourself. You don't need like fancy anything for that. But definitely do some calculations. Don't just like go off of hunches, I would say.
You think spend some time on doing actual research on what my demographic is.
Yeah.
So let me touch on. Were you going to continue going, or can I touch on something? So I think what you're saying is super duper legitimate, and something that I have been kind of learning along the way of messing around with certain areas that I could monetize in is that my demographic on TikTok, which is my biggest platform, like of 1.5 mil, is 81% girls, ages I think it's 18 to 24 or 25 or whatever the age range is. That is the majority of my audience. I am really this year trying to not only think of something that I want to do, but something that aligns with me well, that I would feel comfortable making, that I would use myself, that can also appeal to girls just as much as it would to me. I know there's different areas to talk to you about that, but I am really trying to capitalize on leveraging my audience, and that also comes with understanding my audience. As we're talking about this right now, I'm like making sense of it in my head. But from an outside perspective, if you were me, how would you leverage my audience?
I would say, I mean, again, you're not a girl, but you might have interests that are common with girls. So try to find those like intersecting points, like where you feel like you could appeal to them without being the exact, like if you were to find an exact persona of you, of like you, like a 20-year-old guy who likes girls and like is into sports and like this and that, that is easier to do, but I'm sure you have parts of your personality which would coincide with that or like could appeal to that. So just think through that, like where could be the commonalities and
Yeah. I think, yeah, there's just like a lot of, and so let me touch on this as well. So we're talking about this, and this is great, and I'm already having ideas.
Can you do a time check? Slow down.
8:53.
Should be in 5 minutes.
Okay.
We can keep recording.
Yeah. But okay. So Abhi, I got a million things I could do.
This became like a career advice instead of a financial advice, which again, I'm not qualified to give you career advice. I'm not in your career.
No, but I appreciate your insight. You're smart. You're a smart guy. So Abhi, I feel like asking this, I already know that it's to continue just trying things and see what works, giving things a real shot.
And have patience. Have trust in the process. Things are already working. Don't get impatient that like, oh, I need this like right. I think that the whole instant gratification and like that's a bit of a problem. I feel like you're playing the long game. You don't want to be a sellout, and that will pay off eventually. So I feel like trust that it will. You're not trying to become, because you can be a sellout and then lose the trust of your audience and like everything disappears in like 3 months. Instead, you can be true to yourself, be true to your audience, and then you have a more longer return of it. So I think just trust that it will work out. It has so far, and it will continue to. Any more questions?
No, I think that patience is something that I need to
That's your
put more.
Yeah, stillness, patience,
And I think,
being calm, and
I think,
trusting the process, doing the work, putting your head down and doing the work.
see, but in that doing the work, I feel like,
if you're doing the work in the right direction or not, is that
yeah, you know what I mean?
But you are though, like you're already seeing results. So I feel like there were points where I feel you were trying too many things. I think now you have like narrowed down to the ones that work.
Yeah.
Even earlier last year, I feel like you were trying things that were like outside of your skill
Was
set.
I?
Like with the AI stuff and all, I feel like that was like reaching a bit too far.
Yeah, but reaching nonetheless. Reaching for the stars nonetheless.
Yeah, but it's also like it was not the right time for it. So.
Yeah, I think that, thinking back to that book I love, I should be thinking who, not how.
Yeah.
Not how to monetize or how to blah, blah, blah. Who has done the same thing I have done?
Yeah, and reach out to them. People are more than willing to help. You would be surprised at the generosity of people.
I think I want to reach out to David Fogarty.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
Yeah.
Does he have a lot on YouTube?
Also, like, I feel with any reaching out, whether it's a cold call, whether it's leaving a comment, whether it's a DM, what's the worst thing that can happen? They might not reply. Is that really the end of the world? At least you tried.
Yeah, and then now this is me just being so like neurotic. I think like, okay, well, if I had this person, then it would work. So one, I'm relying on this person to make something work, and then B, I'm like, well, I just made this thing work, and now this person has equity in it, and now I'm like, I feel like, I could have just done it all by myself.
You're not bringing them as a partner. Start first. Like, don't jump ahead. Like, you're not like giving them equity or doing anything. Like, just pick their brain as starters. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Even if you are, then do those calculations. Like, is bringing this person in and giving them this equity worth the like exorbitant amount of hours I will spend learning it myself, or will it like triple my revenue and that's worth giving up this equity for? Like those are all calculations that have like an objective answer. Like these are not hunches. I feel a lot of these are like you can run the numbers and see. That's
you
what
think it's-
consultants do. That's what they like when companies merge, like mergers and acquisitions. Like they go and like run the numbers and see, is it worth it? Is it like what did Meta like bought Instagram? Like they didn't just say like, oh, we'll give you this $1 billion. Like they got insane amount of returns. Like the reason Facebook is still relevant is because they have Instagram. So all of these, like at small or large scale, are things that are decided by running the numbers. So trust the math.
Trust the math.
Right, we should leave.
All right, let's go to this comedy show. Abhi, thank you as always. You're the man. Thank you for sharing your insight. And I hope this gave y'all insight into being a creator. Stuff to think about for you guys, and just me talking to talk. But love you guys. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you want more videos with Abhi. Show him some love because he's camera shy, but he has a lot of great things to say. And
I don't know where the camera is. I think I was looking in a different direction.
okay, all right.
That's fine.
Well, that's it. All right. Any last words, Abhi?
No.
Okay.
I'm done with this.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye.